We're doing this. So, today's video is for the fellas. Most men struggle with talking to the girl of their dreams. They are afraid to reach out to that very attractive lady because of some simple lies that they tell themselves. So, in today's videos, we're going to talk about it. Most guys struggle with attractive women because they lie to themselves about what women really are, as if women aren't human. So, if you struggle with talking to that girl, that attractive girl, the girl of your dreams, the girl that you really like, stay tuned. By the end of today's video, you'll know the 5 mindsets, mind hacks, mind breakthroughs that destroy the anxiety related to attractive women that you want to be with. So, uh, by the end of this video, you'll be able to talk to the women that you really want. What's up, Mia? How's it going? And this is for ladies too. I mean, if you want to just tune in, but I made a series for women about getting access to the man of your dreams. Today, I'm going to do a video for the young men to talk to the women of their dreams, girls of their dreams, whatever it is. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. How are you doing, Mia? Good to see you again. So in today's video, we're talking about that. So there's this big lie that I've had to overcome myself, and this has made it very easy for me to talk to women. I mean, to talk to women that exactly the kind of women I like. If I see them, I'm like, I like her, I want her. I just go right over and talk to her. I have no problem with it. Get numbers, whatever. So, or whatever. So, um, but there is kind of like this mind trick that I was telling myself that put women on this pedestal that they don't deserve to be on. No one deserves to be on some special pedestal except for the Most High God. That is it. Everybody else is a meat puppet, right? We're all scenery people to each other. So if we're honest about the women that we find attractive and we're honest about how we see them, we can actually start to talk to them and develop connections with them. So first thing I'm going to start off with off the bat. This is not the first mind shift, but this is the first thing to consider. Is that men, young guys, we got to stop lying about what women are. Okay? We just have to stop doing that. We put women on this pedestal and they're just not there. They're human. They got to use the bathroom, they have to shower, they have to eat food, they have to live. They're just human. Especially the girl that you think is the bee's knees. Especially the girl that you think is like the cutest, most beautiful thing. You think her farts smell like roses. Let her fart in front of you, right? All right. Juju said, woo. All right. Juju said, hi. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're talking about that. So first and foremost, if you're a guy and you have a lot of anxiety talking to that woman that you find attractive, and I already put a video out about what actual attraction is as opposed to socialized, like, okay, she's a New York 10 or a Hollywood LA 10. You may not be attracted to her. You may be able to look at her and say, okay, I see how she's physically attractive, but I don't find any attraction with her. Like when I was growing up, everyone was like, Halle Berry is the bee's knees. She is so attractive. She's the hottest woman in the world. She was on the cover of magazines. Always. And as a kid, I was like, yeah, I get why she's attractive. I don't think she's attractive to me. So at least as a young man, I understood what I like in a woman, what I like when I see. I liked Scarlett Johansson. I thought she was far more attractive. I thought Salma Hayek was far more attractive. Okay. I thought Toni Braxton was far more attractive. And I think that, of course, I don't think these women were on magazines like Halle Berry was. But anyway, all I'm saying is check out that video about real attraction. So when you see a woman that you're actually attracted to, you actually talk to her. All right. Anyway, Jerry D. Park says, hello, 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 and welcome. So men have to stop putting women on a pedestal, especially women that you're attracted to. Now, it's a woman that you're not attracted to, and you see her, and maybe she doesn't have the body type you have, or maybe she doesn't have the ethnicity you like, or whatever. It's much easier to talk to her. Well, you have to treat the woman of your dreams the exact same way. Otherwise, it's going to be a terrible relationship from moment one. From the moment you share the same air as her, it will be a bad relationship. It will be cursed. Okay, so that's a little bit dramatic, but I mean it. All right, so the women you want, you got to realize they want you, because that's one of our points, but just keep that in mind. Apex women want apex men. This is for apex children of the Most High God. So if you're a child of the Most High God and you're a lady, you can watch this too. You can get benefit from it. Um, I think the way that women will be, this is mostly for the dudes, but women will benefit from this, ladies will benefit from this by understanding that there are men that see you and understand that you are absolutely beautiful. Literally, all women are beautiful, even if they're psychotic, which a lot are. The majority are. I'm going to be honest. The majority of women are stupid because the majority of men are stupid. The majority of people are stupid. It's just a human thing, okay? So, but regardless of that, every single woman is beautiful. Every single woman is absolutely beautiful. Is she attractive? No, not every woman is attractive, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be that way. All right, we all have to like find what works for us, find what we like. Okay, so a lot of us have been going for the New York 10 or the LA 10 or the Hollywood 10s, and that's not what we really want. So going for that just leads to loss, sadness, loneliness, frustration, and feeling really bad about yourself. And also lying and being someone that you're not so you can impress someone that doesn't even like you, who's who's just not into you. So let's get right into it. So you have to get a woman that actually is attractive to you. And you have to be mature enough and honest enough to do that. That's why I always encourage kids, like if you're under 18 or whatever, I don't know, if you're 16, maybe you want to date or something like that, date big quotes. I would not engage with human reproduction activities until after you're probably 25, but whatever, 21. But we'll say 18, okay? We'll say 18. All right. But I would say stay away from that because it's a power of, especially men. I don't think that young men should ever be engaging with women in that capacity until you're much older, especially um, I would say, I don't know, men probably. Anyway, I'm getting off in the weeds here. Let's get into the points here. Let's get into the point. So the number one thing is the first mind hack, the most first mind shift that you have to have as a man to be able to go and talk to the women of your dreams, or the woman that you actually are attracted to, is you have to break through this supremacy lie. So this is a lie that women are morally superior, divine, magical, special, and they're not. Not any more than men are. Men are magical and divine and special and all that stuff, just like women are. And so at the end of the day, we're all kind of complementary. Okay. And so it comes from our moms, right? Because mom is this truly divine being in a way, right? She's still a dirty human, just like any other human. But mothers are like for your brain as a baby, where you get your milk, you get your food, you live in her body for 9 months. Like mothers are really powerful, divine, godlike beings. Okay, they're not God at all. Don't ever get that twisted. There's nothing like godlike about mom that's more godlike than dad or any other human, right? We're all humans. We're all children of God. Uh, okay, but that relationship of seeing a woman and looking to her as the source of our life and food makes us automatically look up to women, all humans, girls, boys, all of us, because we all come out of women. And so there's this tendency amongst men and boys to look at the woman of their dreams as unaccessible, unattainable, unapproachable, because she's this special, magical, she's like mom goddess, right? She's not. Okay. She just isn't. She's a human being. And so the supremacy lie is one of the main things that's keeping you from going and talking to the woman of your dreams, talking to a woman you want. Okay. So women are just regular blokes. I know they're not blokes because that's an English word, but they're not dudes, but you know what I mean, right? They're no different than dudes, and yes, okay, obviously, anatomically and biologically, females are different. However, they're not to be put on a pedestal. Pardon me, I just want to get my pen. I just really want to. I'm really kind of annoyed that I dropped it. Ah, got it. Whew. All right, doing these things in the car can be challenging sometimes. All right. So that was the first thing, the supremacy lie. If you can get over that, it'll be much easier to approach women that you find attractive. All right. The second mind hack, mind shift that you've got to have as a man, if you want to approach the woman that you like, that you nowadays, like I said, I will see a woman and I will look at her and be like, yes, go. Because I'm older. I'm almost 50. Like, which is mind blowing. I'm 9 years away from 50. I know. I'm 40, 41 really, 41. But I'm like right on the edge of 50. You know, I'm not. I mean, closer to 50 than I was when I was 20. And so now I'm very comfortable approaching women because I've seen so many, I've been with so many women. Uh, I've seen women in all kinds of compromising positions and life experiences and ups and downs, very attractive, very unattractive, whatever women. And I've seen them, and there's so many, like literally well over 10,000 women that I've seen in compromise, we'll say in challenging, compromising positions. We'll put it that way. I'm not gonna, but and I've realized that they're just human. And so this goes right into, um, so that's part of number one. Women are just regular people, and the woman of your dreams is no different. She still has to use the bathroom. She still has to expel. She still has to expel flatulence from time to time, or she'll explode. She still has to eat. She still has to sleep and drool and snore and boogers and like she's still a human. Doesn't matter how much she cleans and picks and shaves and plucks and lasers. She's still a human. All right. Number two, let's get into the second mind hack here. So if you're a guy, you have a really hard time approaching the attractive woman that you want, you got to break through the lie that women have no sexual urges. And I know there might be young people in the chat, whatever. I'm just going to say the S word, sex. All right. So there's this lie that women are less sexual than men. Huge lie. Okay. Said hi, Justin Reimer. Thank you for joining. Huge lie. Women, I would say, in some cases, are more sexually minded and more sexually driven than men. And by the way, God has given dominion over sex to women, period, hands down. It's everywhere all the time. I don't care what you believe about fake 2 trillion genders. All that stuff is malarkey. It's all BS, bad science, BS, bad spirituality. Women have dominion over sexuality. So women are as sexual as men, and in many cases, more sexual than men. Way more, trust me. Okay? I, spent the first 20 years of my life a lot being around a lot of women. Um, we'll say the first 30 years of my life in industries and with women and in fields in which it was predominantly women and women. Okay, women, women, women. And I can tell you the sexual conversations and jokes and dirty jokes and things like that. Women, it was just like that's what it was, right? Now I'm in a predominantly male, masculine thing, and I've just noticed for men, it's not. I mean, it is a thing. Men joke about sex and all these things, and we talk about it, but it's more of a woman's thing. So women are definitely there's a big lie about women's not having sexual urges or desires. Big lie. Okay, so when it comes to the woman that you're attracted to, that you really like, that you really want, she wants you. And by the way, a woman that you're actually attracted to. Okay, not a Hollywood 10 or a New York 10 or whatever, because unless that's your type and it's genuinely what you want, she's your match. Because you can tell tons of Hollywood 10s, big quotes, that are with like doesn't matter what you look like. Okay, it also doesn't matter how much money you got. If you know that she's for you and she's a Hollywood 10 and you really want that and you're really attracted to that and you go and talk to her, she's going to be a connection. Okay, God always gives us what is ours. So if that's really your type, it's really what you want, then that's yours. Okay. Anyway, so there's a big lie that women are not sexually urged, don't have any sexual urges, or the whole idea of I got a headache. It's promoted by Hollywood. It's promoted by the church. The church and Hollywood are the same thing when it comes to sexuality. The Hollywood is too much sexuality, and it's immoral, and it's perverted, and it's disgusting. And then the church is just as disgusting, just as perverted, and just as immoral because it's the opposite. It's like, all this abstinence stuff and all this silly stuff. So it's all imbalanced. God has nothing to do with any of it. If you just watch nature, look at life, God is very pro-sex and women are very sexually oriented. Now, obviously, there are women in the world that are asexual, just like there are men that are asexual. There are real asexual people are a real thing. Okay. And so there are people that do have very low sex drive and they're just not interested in it. They want a long lifetime partner that they love, that they are physically intimate with from time to time, but they don't want to be really sexual. But the vast majority of women are actually sexual and have sexual urges. And even if they hide them or lie about them and trick you into thinking they don't have the urges, it's a lie. Okay, it's just I had too many girlfriends that were girls, women, obviously, that were extremely sexually oriented, and because they felt safe around me, they let all of it out. Okay, and they, I wouldn't do anything with them. So there you go. Don't ask me why. All right, number three. That was a long one. Number three is the third lie and the third mind hack you got to break through. If you've got this attractive girl, you want to talk to her, you're afraid to talk to her, is that you must get over this lie that you have to prove yourself to the woman that you're attracted to. You don't. You never have to prove yourself to a woman ever, 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 ever. If a woman needs you to prove yourself to her, drop her, move on. She's not Apex. She's not for you. All women that really, really want you and really like you know it before you even know it. That's one thing that, and this is going to get into number 4 and 5, but I'm just going to say it a little bit now. There's a certain part of women's ability to think in certain areas is a little faster than men. It doesn't mean that they're smarter. It's just they're faster in certain areas. Okay. So a woman will actually pick you out before you pick her, and then she'll put herself in a position to be visible and attain and approachable by you so that you can do the manly thing and go and talk to her and go pursue her, right? Don't ever chase a woman. I'm getting a phone call. I will call them back. So you must get over this lie that you have to prove yourself to a woman that you're attracted to. If you have to prove yourself to her, you're not ready for her. Stop it. Give up. What I mean is stop it. Get yourself better so that when you show up, you ain't got to prove yourself. Okay? So, like the idea of tricking a woman into believing that you're so great or charming her or proving yourself to her, that is a complete lie. Look, the creator of the universe, the Most High God, made you perfect the way that you are, and that means that you are like an acorn. You're going to grow into an oak. So an acorn doesn't stay an acorn forever and stay perfect. You're going to change and grow over time. And God sees your perfection and your growth and your ability and what you are and your value. If you're approaching a woman, a girl that you like, the girl of your dreams, and she's like, ugh, the moment you meet her, guess what? You need to fix this. You need to fix this. You need to get yourself together. It does not mean that you need to make yourself better for her because she's irrelevant. She doesn't even exist. As soon as the girl does that, when you approach her, act as if she's a fly fart. She doesn't exist anymore. She's irrelevant. What I'm saying is, if you are going after women that to you the moment you meet them, then you need to fix yourself. Meaning, you need to know what a good woman is, a girl that actually likes you is. So when you approach her, you don't get the from women. Okay? There's an entire ethnic group of women I will not interact with. I got that too many times. And so I realized, okay, I don't actually like those women. I was not attracted to those women enough. I was pursuing those kinds of women for my mother's sake. It was not for my sake. Genuinely, like thinking back, even as a child, they didn't like me. I didn't really like them. I liked the other types of women, which I mentioned in other videos. So um, that's a main thing. So never think that you have to prove yourself to any woman ever. There's this big lie, men. Oh, I cheated on my girlfriend, and now I got to prove that I'm faithful. Break up, move on. If she didn't forgive you, Jesus did. Move on. How much can I say it? Okay, I know it hurts, and I know. Look, I'm a little easier to walk away from people. Okay, because I've known too many people in my life. I've had deep connections with hundreds and hundreds of people. And I've just been like, okay, I'm done. Like, this was great for the 8 minutes that we shared. Okay, I'm done. I don't even remember your name or your face. Okay, literally, that's happened. Okay, doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I feel like God brought that person in my life to have that experience to move on. Right. But let's say you've had a 6-year relationship and you philandered and now she can't forgive you. Move on. Do yourself, do your earth, do your God a favor. You ain't gonna do favors for God, but do yourself a favor. Pursue life, man. Pursue life. So if you approach her, again, this goes back to proving, if you approach a woman, a girl of your dreams, and she's not yours today now, meaning she doesn't open up. She doesn't say, I like you. Look, there was a woman I was with for years, and she never reached the point of arrival. We'll just put it that way, right? And then I thought it was me, so I went to therapy, I did all this stuff, talked to these people, blah blah blah, years and years. And then, of course, I explored reading the Bible and exploring God's creation with other women, and yeah, it was not an issue. So clearly, the woman that I was with wasn't a match. So if you realize that she's not yours today, meaning she doesn't open up to you, she doesn't show interest, leave her alone. There's so many women, and I'm speaking for women here, and women will agree, where there's a guy just chasing you down, hey ma, and chasing you, chasing you, chasing you, chasing you, chasing you, and they're just like, I'm so over this. Like, can he just leave me alone? And I'm telling men, don't ever do that. If you're an apex man, now if you're a woman and you're being chased by a man, he's not an apex man. Find a way to make him disappear, right? And what I mean is legally, safely, all that stuff, right? I'm not saying do anything bad. I'm not saying pay somebody. I'm not saying call somebody. I'm not saying do anything like that. All I'm saying is just pray and do whatever you got to do and make them disappear, right? Be invisible. I don't know. You're a woman. You can figure it out. All right. So if she's not yours now, she never will be. Let her go. This is the thing. Women that are not yours, that you tricked into getting with you, or you charmed her into being with you, or you proved yourself to make her like you, or something like that, they're not yours from the beginning. They will never be yours. They will always be looking for another man. And when they cheat on you, they're basically telling you, I never liked you. I don't like you. I don't want you. Never wanted you. Can you just get it? And you make the move to move on? Can you please? That's a woman being, it's not a woman being nice when she cheats on you. It's very hurtful. And it's actually illegal. It's considered domestic violence, but in the state of California. But if that happens, she's giving you a sign. She was never yours, bro. Move on. All right. Go to counseling, talk to Jesus, whatever you gotta do. All right. She's gonna be looking at other men, and I know it hurts, but get over it. Okay, it does hurt, but you're gonna get over it because you're an apex son of the Most High God. God will give you something better. Go through your dark night of the soul, make it through the other side, work out a bunch, make your life better, make a bunch of money, and then you'll be able to be confident enough to approach the girl that you're actually attracted to. Number 4, mind hack, mind shift that's going to help you is to understand that this is a big lie that women are smarter than men. Again, I touched on this earlier. Women are not smarter than men. Women's minds move quicker in certain areas when it comes to communication, when it comes to, and I'm talking about communication in all forms, nonverbal, verbal. They're just faster with that. This is the way that God made women, and also it's the way that women developed and evolved over the tens of thousands, millions of years, whatever you want to believe, right? And so, in some ways, women are quicker witted than men, much more intelligent than men in certain areas. But it does not mean they're overall smarter, generally smarter. There are areas that men are smarter than women are, and it balances out, complementary, right? And so when you're approaching a girl, what I mean is, let's say you talk to the girl of your dreams, a girl that you're really attracted to, and you're in a relationship with her, and she's not a fashion designer. Like, she has no idea of dressing or anything like that. And then she tells you, don't wear a blue shirt, and you happen to like your blue shirt, but she's just saying don't wear a blue shirt. First of all, who's she to tell you how to dress, right? And then second of all, okay, lady, thank you for your opinion. You don't got to be mean to her, but just say thank you for your opinion, and you just keep wearing your blue shirt, right? I'm just using that as an example. Um, okay, so because some women will do that, and men will do that too to women, okay? But talking to the boys right now, so the men right now, the young men, apex men right now. So this is what I'm talking about. But no, women are not smarter than men, and it's a big lie. It's promoted again by Hollywood and now by the church. Women are so virtuous, they're so smart, they're so whatever. No, they're not. They're just human. Again, just meat puppet scenery people, just like every other person out there. And the vast majority of people are just meat puppet scenery people. They're not apex, so I wouldn't get too much involved in that. So uh, whenever you see a woman is smarter than you, it causes you to be obedient, not mature and authentic. And so you're gonna be like, oh, well, if she says this, then I got to change this. And no, you don't. You just be yourself. Like I said, an acorn is growing into an oak tree. And so, you're not going to be the same from the day one that you meet her. You're going to grow and change, and there's going to be suggestions she's going to offer, and there's going to be ways of being that you're going to see that she does that are going to inspire you and going to encourage you to be a better person. If she's an apex daughter of the Most High God, if she's not, you're just going to be frustrated and sad, and you're never going to pursue your dreams, and you're going to throw away God's gift that He has for you, and Satan will have control of your soul. Women are very good about bringing that into the picture. Again, they're not saying just women; men can do it too. All right, we're talking with the guys, so I'm just being that way. All right, number 5, and finally, this is the 5th lie that you got to break through if you're wanting to pursue the woman of your dreams, the woman you like, the woman you desire. Is you got to understand that there's this lie that everything a woman says she means. It's a complete lie. I don't want flowers. Okay, well, uh, there, and the reason I'm saying this is that most of this is a hard one too for men, and I'm talking to the men. Men have been conditioned to do what mommy says. So if a woman says, I don't want flowers, there was this time in the 90s with Richard Gray, whatever his name was. He wrote this book, Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus. So a woman says she doesn't want your help, don't help her. What men have to get better about is we have to get better about reading the nonverbal cues and picking up on what she's actually saying. Her words may not mean jack. It may be complete malarkey. You have to get to know her beyond the pretty little face that you see and get to know the deeper person underneath. I can tell you that if a woman said, okay, I don't want flowers for my birthday, you don't get her flowers, and then she's weird for the next 5 days. She's full of it, okay? She is malarkey. She's got all this. She's speaking malarkey, okay? There's a lot of there are a lot of things that women say that are just not true, okay? And I'm not saying violate her consent. I'm not saying ignore everything she says, but the reason that is because for every 5,000 words a man says, a woman says like 10 or 20,000 words, okay, or whatever. For every 5 words a man says, a woman says 10 or 20, okay, typically. And, this is kind of just a cultural thing. So if a woman says, we'll say 10 words to your 1 word, it's likely that 7 of those words are just malarkey. So you have to actually not necessarily read between the lines, but hear what she's saying, not just the words that are coming out of her mouth. And that can be challenging, but it's something you can do when you found a woman that's compatible with you. She'll actually have to say less things. She'll have to use less words, and you'll just get it. And you watch older couples that have been together for 50, 60 years. Let's say you got the lady, and again, everybody's different. Some men are more verbose and some women are less verbose. I tend to be quite verbose. I might get with a woman that's more terse. She may not say as much stuff, but you'll see this with older couples. They've been together for 50 years, and the woman will be going on and on and on. And the man will just go and do something, and then whatever she's going on and on about, she's still going on about it, but it's done, it's fixed, because he's learned she needs to emote, she needs to converse, she needs to be verbose, she needs to say and talk and get it all out. She just needs to do that. That's what she's doing. He's not gonna stop her from talking. He's gonna sit there and nod every couple of minutes, say every couple of minutes, and make the eye contact. Yeah, baby, okay. He may not. If he can't take it anymore, he just walk away. Because you see the older couples, they do that. It's beautiful. It's real men do that. Uh, but she just needs to talk. And I've seen they're so cute. Some of these couples in their 70s and 80s, 90s, and she's just going on and on. And he's just sitting there staring off into the nothingness. And she's just going on and on. And then he's just like, mm-hmm. So anyway, the 5th lie is that everything a woman says matters. It doesn't. Yeah, here I am being feminine, being quite verbose. But a lot of what women say is malarkey. I'm going to be honest with you. So if you meet a girl and you gotta get with a girl that's compatible with you. So when you meet her, you're just like, okay, yeah, what she's saying is aligning, or it's making sense. What she's saying out of her mouth is matching up with her body language, with her actions. And so you've got to be very discerning as a man when it comes to what women say. Okay. What women say about like empowerment, being strong and independent. You just look at reality. I want to be strong and independent. I want to be independent. How many women are like off gridding by themselves compared to men that have been doing it for thousands of years? It's like 1/10%. Well, there's a woman out in the woods shooting bears in Canada and Alaska. Yeah, that's news because women don't do that. So women will talk a big game about independence and about strength and I'm empowered and all this stuff. They don't want that. Generally, most women want stability. They want structure. They want safety. They want serenity. So they'll talk about, oh, I want to be independent. I want to go out there and blah, 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 do all these things and conquer the world and be all strong. And then say, okay, well, let's get in a relationship. And then you say, okay, let's be independent. Let me be an entrepreneur. She's like, oh, wait up. You got a good check coming from that job. Let's not be that independent, right? You're gonna see that. And so as a man, you have to be able to pick up on what a woman's putting down and don't necessarily look at her words, look at her body language. And this really goes for the intimacy interactions. And I've learned this and I've had to learn this, is that a woman can say yes, she means no. Again, you have to be discerning as a man. You have to be able to look at her body language, look at what she's saying with her eyes, with her body posture. Like I said, if you meet a woman, this whole thing about women's malarkey, if you go back to number whatever it is, the one where I'm talking about, if she's not yours from day one, she's never gonna be yours. Get over it. Um, when you meet a girl and you think she's the girl you think you're attracted to her, you approach her and she's like, ugh, she just told you, I don't like you. I don't want you to get out of my face. Immediately, the moment you meet her. And she may not do that explicitly, like I'm doing it here. She may do it like you come and say, hey, and it takes like 3 seconds for her to turn and look at you. As soon as she looks at you, say, hi, I just want to tell you, have a nice day, and walk away. Like, be polite, but just walk away. Realize she does not want anything to do with you because she saw you before you even approached her. Women have a very good sense of proprioception or an awareness of around their bodies. Again, this just goes to the rationale behind it. I'll explain because it's obvious to anybody who's apex. Anyone who doesn't get this, I don't care. You don't get it. Go somewhere else. But proprioception is extremely important to people who do not have the physicality to protect themselves. Okay. So, I mean, awareness of where your body is what proprioception is. Awareness of where your body is and how your body is feeling. So you get all these feelings around your body. But it's also extends out into the external world. So a woman may pick up on a person walking within proximity to their body much quicker than a man would. And so that's why men seem slower, more stupid. It's not that we're stupid and slower. It's just that okay, you get into my space, I could probably defend myself. And so I may perceive it, but my brain's not turning on the warning signals. But a woman's warning signals go off earlier. And so going back to the whole thing about um, like you have to be able to pick up on a woman's what she's not saying with her mouth. You got to see what she's saying with her body. And this is kind of this is really kind of a divergence here. But anyway, these are the 5 ways, and 5 mind shifts, 5 mind hacks. Nobody's here because I probably went too deep, too intellectual. But when I cut it up, then 1,000 people watching and a bunch of people like it. I don't get it. Whatever. I don't give a care. But anyway, these are the 5 ways. More than 1,000, thousands of people watching. These are the ways, these are 5 ways that you can understand women are not a mystery. They're not that mysterious. They're not that special. They're not that magical. They're just humans like you and I. And, this is how you do it. First thing to understand is there's this lie about women's supremacy. You got to change that. Women are not supreme. They're not better than you. They're just people. Okay? They're complementary to men. The second lie that you break through, mind hack that you can understand, approach any woman you want, is to understand that women actually do have sexual urges. They do have sexual desire, and they do want to be with you. Okay? So it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what your finances are. Yes, it helps if you work on your body. Yes, it helps to work your money. That just expands the pool of women that want to be with you. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You can have the best body and the best money. You got no confidence. You will have fewer connections with women than if you have a terrible body, no money, and a ton of confidence. Because confidence indicates evolutionary stability. Okay? Confidence is from the Most High God. His children are confident because they know they got backing, real backing. Okay? Number three, a way that you can break through these mind states that stop you from approaching the woman of your dreams is you got to end this lie that you must prove yourself. You never have to prove yourself to a woman that actually wants you, that actually likes you. Okay, you never do, because if she actually likes you and wants you before you say your first word, she's already in. Okay, again, if she's doing that body language of and you say hi to her and it takes 3 seconds to say hi back. Don't ever waste your time. You're way too valuable to have a girl be going like, you say, hey, hi, and then she goes, hi, hey, hello, hey. Yeah, don't do that to yourself, man. Respect yourself. And look, I got somebody in my life that I love very dearly that does that. And the only reason I continue to interact with them is because they contain some of my genetic material in them. But they're their family, so it doesn't, it's different. There's a different set of rules there. But even that, I'm like, yo, if you don't like me as a person, we don't have to have a connection. You understand that, right? You can't make more of me, but I can make more of you. You put it that way. I love this person. They're a good person. All right, they're the best person in the world. Anyway, everybody's the best person in the world. Okay, let's move forward. The mind hack you could do to get over the malarkey that's keeping you away from the woman that you want, stopping you from talking. The fourth lie that's stopping you from talking to the woman of your dreams is this lie that women are smarter than you. Women are not smarter than you. If you think women are smarter than you, you're going to approach the woman of your dreams with an obeisance, with an obedience. You're also going to try and maybe overdo it, like you're the boss man. Hey, I'm so strong, you do what I say, woman. It's stupid. Just stop it, drop it. Women are not smarter than you. They have an intelligence that a lot of men don't have, and that's fine. Men have an intelligence a lot of women don't have. And notice I said a lot of, okay, because not everybody is the same. There are some women that are on average, like Marie Von Savant, if I said her name right. Highest IQ in the world, one of the highest IQs in the world. It's like over 200. Okay? Typically, women don't have those IQs, period. Okay? She's smarter than most men on the planet. She's smarter than 8 billion, 9, basically all the men on the planet. She's one of the smartest humans on earth. Okay? Now, she's an exception. But all the other ladies you meet, all the other females you encounter, they are not smarter than you necessarily. They just learned how to socially comport themselves more effectively than you have. Because as male testosterone jumping around, being a monkey, again, men aren't monkeys, but men are allowed to be monkeys longer than women are. It's conditioning. Anyway. And then number 5, lie, mind hack, whatever, that's going to help you to break through. You got to break through this to talk to the woman of your dreams. Just understand that women don't always mean what they say. That's the best way I say it. I kind of went around the bush on this one. Women do not always mean what they say. So you've got to be more discerning. And that's why I encourage young men to stay away from reproductive activities, procreative activities, sexual activities with women until you are old enough, mature enough, because you're going to violate consent potentially a lot more than you would if you're an older man. And I'm not saying wait till you're in your 40s or 30s to have you lose your virginity. But what I am saying is you need to be discerning. If you need to take a class on body language, if you need to go to a consent class or something like that before you start dating and you're very young, do it, because you're going to learn how to pick up on subtle cues, the subtle micro movements in a woman's face, the subtle, if a woman's backing away when you're leaning in, she's not interested. Wait till she's leaning in when you're leaning in. Wait till her body language shows that she's coming for you. Consent goes both ways. As a man, I've had women do all kinds of, like, they put their feet on me and they're laying all over me and they blah. I'm like, lady, I don't want to be with you. Like, stop it. Like, I'm being nice, I'm being polite, but she puts her feet on me and I'm just kind of like pulling back a little bit. It's like, girl, you're a female. You know this body language. Come on, what are you doing? But as men, most men don't understand that because most men don't practice consent in themselves. They don't protect themselves in the engagements with women. So a lot of women will violate men's consent and not know it because men just go along with it and they think you got to be strong, brawny, strong, good man. No, you don't. So learn that not everything a woman says, actually, she doesn't mean everything she's saying. Look at her body language. Learn her, get to know her. And if she is for you, it's going to be much easier to pick up on those cues. Again, she's another person, so you still have to get to know her. You still have to learn her style of talking, and it's just relationships take time. But not everything she says is gospel truth. Sometimes women will often do this thing where and I sometimes will do this because, I have a lot of feminine qualities, and I embrace them. I'm very masculine, but I also embrace my feminine stuff. Sometimes women will talk around something. They won't go boom directly to it. And I have found that very frustrating. That's why I tend to like, you know, different types of minds. Um, but women have been taught to do that. And again, I know a lot of women that do go straight to the point, but they tend to be on the spectrum. But generally, women, especially in the Western world, and it can be culturally based, will go around the subject. Um, honey, I was just wondering about, instead of saying, hey, can you not wear shoes or whatever. Now, when you get later on in the relationship, they're just going to be straight and they're just going to hit you with it. They'll smack you with their words all the time. Okay, they'll be very direct, very transparent. But initially, they want to be soft. They want to be acceptable and all this stuff. Again, that's kind of a condition thing. Um, when you find a woman that's for you, and again, women too, if you find a man that's for you, you can be a little more direct. You can be more clear. You don't have to worry about beating around the bush. But with men, this is for men, women will tend to not always mean what they say. And so you have to be able to be discerning, know what she's talking about, and pick up on cues, especially when it comes to procreative acts, sexual acts, that sort of thing, but also just socially. Um, if she's in a social setting and she kind of pulls herself closer to you and around certain people, just be aware of that. Okay, okay. Oh, she pulled herself closer to me. Okay, what's going on here? You don't have to act on it, but just pay attention to little things like that. Um, yeah, just pay attention. Learn the woman that you're with. She's not so much of a mystery that women are not so much of a mystery that you cannot understand them enough to have positive relationships with them, wonderful connections with them. Women are very approachable, especially the women that you want, the women that you're desiring, the women that you're interested in. So anyway, I wanted to put this out, and I put it out, and I successfully did so. So in closing, when you stop saying these 5 lies and you learn these 5 mind hacks, you'll be able to have the courage, have the self-love to approach the woman of your dreams and create that connection. Okay? Now, as a child of the Most High God, as a son of the Most High God, everything you desire is already yours. And so the woman of your dreams already exists, and God already has her for you. The question is, are you for her? Are you ready for her? You may walk through life, walk through reality, and may not even see her. You may walk past her 20 times, and she will look like a box to you. Like she'll literally look like a cardboard box until you get yourself right. So when you get your mind right, you get your heart right, get your spirit right, seek ye first the kingdom of God, all of these things will come to you. But these are 5 little hacks that you can use, and also 5 lies that you can break through to be comfortable approaching the woman of your dreams. All right. Anyway, that's what I got to say about that. Thank you for those of you who stayed. And let's see here. Yeah. Stay Apex.